Hello students, Namaste, welcome to MBA 360. Today I am going to address the elephant in the room. Should you do an MBA? Who should do an MBA and who should not do an MBA? Because a lot of these students have been sold the dream that MBA is for them the gateway to a great career path. Is it true? Let us bust it with all the lies that they also talk about. And before I move any further, if you're not subscribed to MBA 360, please subscribe it now, because this is a single point destination for you to help you understand which B school, what B school, how much is the placement, every single data, research, everything we're going to cover it for you. So please subscribe to it. And if you want me to cover any such subjects, please write to me in the comment box below and I'll be most happy to research and get back to you on that. Every year in India, lakhs of students chase an MBA dream, believing it's a guaranteed ticket to success. About 5 lakh students join an MBA course every single year in this country. Here is a fact most of them don't know. Not more than about 100-150 B schools are very good, which have determined and given student outcomes year after year. And that is just about 25,000-50,000 seats, mind you. The rest sell dreams. They sell through rankings, through placement numbers and glossy brochures. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you're planning to do an MBA, this is not a motivational video. This is a reality check to help you decide whether an MBA will build your career or cost you years of it. As I keep telling you, MBA is not an escape. A lot of students take up MBA as an escape route because they could not get placed in the college, because they think that it gets them a great job, because they think that it gets them a leadership role, because they think that it's a game changer for the career. All this is a lie or true depending on who you are. Because I keep telling you, MBA doesn't guarantee anything. India has 5,000 plus B schools, as I told you already, and about 5 lakh students take up that MBA role. About 9,000 seats are in IIMs. Add about 1,000 of them from IITs, the Department of Management Studies, you have about 10,000 seats in MBA. Add about 20,000 seats from private B schools, which are very good. That's about 30,000 MBA seats that you're talking of. Maybe you can add 25,000 more of other B schools which are decent enough but are not ranked by NIRF or by the Government of India. All put together, you would not have more than 50,000 seats of the 5 lakh seats people who are pursuing MBA, which means not more than 10% of the seats that are in MBA are good enough for you, where they actually work for student outcomes, where they work for your placement, where they work to ensure that you get a higher salary, a better role or a better prospect and make a great career path for you. Others are failing because all they have at this point in time is the degree granting status for which they actually give you a degree. I'll also show you through numbers of what it means. And I must also tell you that the highest salary that is sold is a big fat lie. Because they would never talk about the lowest salary, but they will always talk about the highest salary, which is in crores. But when you talk of median salary, it falls dramatically. Let me talk of some numbers here so that you understand where I come from. As I told you, MBA does not guarantee placement. We analyze the top B schools in this country. As I told you, there were 5,000 plus B schools. So we analyzed 680, which is a very good proportion, mind you. And this 680 are the top of the lot, which means they're top in the 5,000 ranked B schools that you have in the country. When you looked at the 680 B schools, the top 50 B schools, they place about 80% of the students. When we looked at the 51st to 100th B school, they placed 78%. But when we went down from 100 to 680, which is the 101 to 680 ranked B schools, the total placement is 54% only. So as you keep going down the ladder, the placement percentage keeps dropping. What was 80% fell down to 78%, fell down to 54%. And when you keep further going down, it falls down to about 20-25%. And mind you, what I talked about till now is only the numbers that are reported. I'm not even challenging the numbers itself, because we know for a fact that some of these numbers are a big fat lie, but I'll not get into that. I'm telling you what is reported by them to the Government of India. So when you actually have the 101 to 680 B school, that band having only 54% placement rate, you can understand what will be the case for something which is in the 3,000 to 4,000 band and so on and so forth. It would not be, in fact, the bottom 1,500 B schools might not even have placement whatsoever in the campus. And that's how bad the situation is. And not just that, I'm not even talking just about the placement percentages. When you look at the median salary also, it is again a big dream that is being sold. Because the top 50 B schools, the median salary is about 18 lakh. Then you come down to 51 to 100 band, you're getting at a salary of 9.21 lakh. Median salary, I'm saying. But the not ranked B schools, the median salary is 4.44 lakh rupees. Now I'll ask you a simple question. The median salary is 4.44 lakh rupees. What is the lowest salary? Can you think of it? 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh? That is for an MBA. And that is a sad story that you must know. And that too, by the way, I'm talking of only those where the data is available. And most B schools where the data is not available don't have any numbers, so they don't make the data available. I'm talking of the top 680 B schools is what we're talking about. And there, from the 101th rank to the 680th B school for which we have data, when we looked at it, the median salary is 4.44 lakh. That's the average median salary I'm talking about. And when you have 4.44 lakh as the average median salary, just imagine what is the kind of lowest salary that these B schools should be actually getting for the student. Would you want to be a part of it? It's another question. The third thing is, as I keep telling you, MBA doesn't guarantee a salary hike. It is for those who are seeking leadership roles. It is not about salary hike that you just jump onto an MBA. It is because you want to have a leadership role. You want essentially something which says that I want to manage people. I want processes. I want handle P&L, which is the profit and loss account of the company. You're comfortable taking responsibility and being accountable for the kind of decisions and the work that you do. You see yourself in decision-making roles and not only in execution. That is what it is meant for as an MBA. So if you're not comfortable for these things of handling responsibility, being accountable, handling P&L, moving from execution to leadership role, MBA is not meant for you. As I told you, keep again and again saying this, MBA is not an escape route for you. You cannot escape just because you've done engineering and you could not get placed, so you do an MBA. Or because you want to meet family expectations. Or you're dissatisfied in the job, so you pursue an MBA so that you can just jump onto something else. It is not meant for those because you're not clear of what your objective is. You're only escaping from a current problem set. MBA is not a therapy or a reset button for any one of you. The gap between a good MBA and an average MBA is massive in this country. You must also know for a fact that in foreign countries, MBA is given only after 2-3 years of work ex. So you actually cannot do an MBA unless you have work ex. Only in India, because we wanted to fill in seats, that you actually created a pathway where right after undergraduation, you can just jump onto an MBA program. In foreign countries, in most countries, it is typically MS in administration and not an MBA, because an MBA without work experience cannot be learned because you have not experienced work life. So to that extent, everything that is taught for you is theory. Whereas when you actually have work experience, it would also you'll be able to relate that with the kind of practice that you had because you had a work experience. Now, the other thing that is very important for you is, it is not for those who are unwilling to start at the bottom. MBA is not equal to instant leadership or very high pay. Many roles start with sales, operations, grunt work. If you think that you walk into, the moment you become an MBA and you join a company, you'll walk into a hall where there'll be a presentation where multiple bunch of people will be waiting for you and you start showing a presentation. That is now how it is. You're going to be one of those people who are executing some of the presentation. You're going to be reporting to a lot of people. It is a lot of grunt work where you actually go on the streets, hit the streets and start selling things. Ego kills more MBA careers than lack of intelligence. So please understand that if you're unwilling to start from the bottom, MBA is not meant for you. It's also not meant for those who are unclear about why they're doing an MBA. When you don't have a clarity on the role or the long-term path, or you have this mindset which says, let's see what happens after you finish an MBA, it is not meant for you. An MBA without intent is one of the costliest experiments in India because MBA is expensive. You actually also give up 2 more years of work life. You could have got into a job right after your graduation, right? But you give up 2 years of your work life, invest a lot of money, and when you come out with a student outcome which is as good as what you would have got if you had been an undergrad student and got a job, then it becomes a very costly experiment. So if you don't have clarity of the kind of company that you work for, the kind of role that you want, MBA is not meant for you. When I told you so many things of for whom the MBA is not meant for, let me also talk of who it is meant for. It is meant for those who are clear about the industry that they want to work in and not just the degree that they're about to get, which is an MBA. You should be clear that I want to work in consulting or BFSI or FMCG or product or operations or HR or analytics, whatever it is. You should be very, very clear about the kind of industry that you want to work in and the kind of role that you want. Because just imagine for a moment that you've done something on finance or you're interested in finance, but all you get is a business development role or a sales role. Would you take it up? You will not take it up. You're not meant for that. You're not fit for that. So if you're not sure of the industry also, for example, you want to work in a finance industry and all you do is you can actually get a job in a FMCG company where you're selling toothpaste or a soap bar, that would be a massive mismatch. The mismatch can happen because of the industry that you're working in, or the mismatch can happen for the role that you're working in. And both can be a killing thing for all of you, right? In India, the sector clarity matters more than the brand. You know where you want to play, even if you're not sure how you want to play. But clarity is very, very important for you. The other thing is, as I keep telling you, the role clarity is very important. Many B schools in this country are offering, when they get the job profile, what all they can get is people who are coming in to recruit their students, but largely on business development and sales roles. And the reason why it happens is, in a business development and sales role, if you don't sell, you lose your job. So you get an offer in your hand, but because you cannot deliver, because you're not meant to be selling a product, it can be a bad product for all that you know, or a bad company for all that you know. But the blame is on you. And that is a challenge that you must look for. It is not about asking who gets those jobs. You should be asking whether I will get the job. What are the kind of jobs that are available? How many jobs are available? Are there any filters in terms of restrictions which make you or qualify whether you can actually sit for placement in that institution? Because a lot of these institutes actually create artificial barriers, which can be on the attendance percentage or the CGPA percentage or so on and so forth, because they want to limit the number of people who can actually sit for a job. So you should be asking those tough questions of how many students actually got admitted and how many actually got placed, and not about how many students registered for placement. Because that can happen at a top level, but as you keep going down the ladder, a lot of these B schools are supposed to be placing students, or at least that's what they're sold. Because when they talk of average salary and median salary and 100% placement, it is meant to be that, which is a big fat lie, because 100% placement is the biggest lie that is being told by the B schools in this country. So you should keep asking, what is the kind of a role? Roles. That is very important for you to understand. A lot of B schools also encourage institutions to give dummy offers. The job is not there, the company is not there, but you have an offer letter in your hand. When you go to that company for placement at some point in time and the actual date comes in, the company doesn't exist. There are a lot of lies, a lot of fraud, a lot of criminality that's involved in this whole thing, but it happens and you must be careful about that. In India, marketing beats reality in most MBA brochures. The MBA brochures are not truthful. That's a fact. And that you must be careful about. The third thing of people who should do an MBA is those who can afford the cost without destroying the future. As I told you, when you actually have a median salary of 4 lakh rupees, just imagine what's the lowest salary is. And if the cost of MBA is 15 lakh rupees, just imagine the kind of EMI that will be a burden on you, that you will be paying every single month when you don't even actually earn that much to pay the EMI. Education loan EMI won't dictate your life choices for the next 10, 15, 20 years if you choose a bad B school. A financially stressed MBA often leads to poor career decisions moving forward. So that is the reason why I always tell you, please understand whether you can actually afford an MBA and whether the ROI that we're talking of is measurable. And fourth, you should do an MBA if you get into a good B school. If you get into the top 100, 150 B schools, please do it. But don't do MBA just for the heck of MBA. The new B schools or the unranked B schools or the heavily advertised institutes, you must keep a close watch on that and ask more questions before you actually make that choice. A weak alumni, a poor recruiter, inflated placement data, all these are the reality as far as MBA B schools are concerned. As I keep saying, with 5,000 plus B schools in this country, only about 500 B schools actually have data, or 500, 600, maybe 1,000. But the other 4,000 B schools don't have any data. If for the data that's available, you actually are dealing with a median salary of 4 lakh, just imagine what's likely to happen next. In conclusion, let me put this up there. Let me be extremely clear of what I'm trying to say. An MBA is not a shortcut to success. It doesn't cure confusion and it doesn't guarantee a great career. In India, an MBA works only when there is clarity of purpose, capability to grow, and the right college. Miss even one of them and it becomes an expensive mistake for all of you. So don't ask, which MBA should I do? Ask first, should I do an MBA at all? And should I do it now? Because the right MBA can change your life and the wrong one can set you back by years. Be careful about this. Thank you so much. Namaste.